Elliott Stanley, founding member of Operation Raise the Colours. Elliott, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good as gold, thank you. Nice to have you with us. We've been banging on trying to defend what you guys and others have done for a long, long time. But, of course, there are people that hoover up the headlines in a far greater way. And if you're a former multi-millionaire footballer like Gary Neville, who I always thought was a pretty good pundit, actually, and he was clearly a gifted footballer, but he knows jack about what people think, the lived experience of the average man. He's obviously forgotten long ago when he left his roots. I don't know what's going on here. What was your response, Elliott, when you first heard him make those comments?
Well, I watched it on Twitter, and I was or on X rather, I was absolutely astounded that he would make such provocative claims as to the fact that, you know, it's the fault of white middle-aged men for displaying the national flag on lampposts, that somehow we could be at all responsible for an Islamist terror attack. Shocking, absolutely shocking.
I mean, it's shocking, and it's moronic as well. I mean, it's just a stupid thing to say, and you could even argue it's a bit of a dangerous thing to say. I mean, he's talking about division and God knows what, and there he is almost advancing that position. We were trying to get to the bottom of, I mean, different people, as you will know from your experience of putting flags up, Elliott, people have their own reasons, people have collective reasons. One of my theories on it is that it's a bit of a message at the moment to our government to remember which country you're actually flipping meant to be governing, when you consider some of the things that are going on, and whether we're talking about grooming gangs, illegal migration and hotels, or protests that are allowed to take place just after a major terror attack with people mooching around the place with swastikas on. It's worth a reminder saying, see that flag up there? That's the country you're meant to be looking after, Mr. Starmer and others. That's my take on it. What's your takeaway on the kind of motivation behind Operation Raise the Colours?
Well, I mean, initially, I think it was a cry for help. You know, everyone's sat on their hands looking at the country going down the pan. So it started as a cry for help. It's grew arms and legs since then. We've kept going, but the overriding reason we're doing it is to display patriotism and for the love of our country and for the love of our flag. As I've said previously, there's been countless people over the years that have shed plenty of blood for that flag, and we need to maintain our identity as a country. We need to understand that flag represents all of us. It's a flag for the whole country. It should display unity for the whole country. I had a gentleman say to me on Sunday night when we were out in a particular part of Birmingham called Harborne, that he thinks that being patriotic is racist. And I mean, that was a new one to us. You know, we've been called racist, fascist, all the rest of the rubbish. But to say that being patriotic is racist is astounding. It's utterly ridiculous. Yeah. To the point I entered into conversation with him, and he actually said he thinks all flags are racist, irrespective of the country. He didn't believe in any country should have a flag or any country should have a border. And that's what we're up against when we're going out. We're experiencing increasing hostility now. And it's down to comments like Gary Neville making those comments that we're getting this hostility, and it's upsetting, but we're not going to be deterred. We're going to keep going.
Good for you. And I would say, I mean, at least the fella you met at the weekend was a bit consistent. You know, at least he sort of backed up his argument with, I don't believe in borders. And I mean, it might be a bit batty and wacky, but, you know, that's his belief. Whereas Neville and this woman on the telly this morning, they're trying to kind of go, oh, but I'm a patriot. I'm really, really proud to be. But I'm thinking, get in the bin. This doesn't make any sense to me. You've only got, I'm sure you've seen it already, because it doesn't take Twitter or X long to dig up some previous. And they managed to do that with Gary Neville and his national anthem endeavours, or lack of national anthem endeavours. I don't think the bloke ever sung it. He looks as if his dog's just died when the national anthem kicks in. So I think we know where Gary Neville comes from. And him going around the place saying, no, I'm very patriotic, I've played for my country. Cobblers.
Well, you know, I mean, I know he played as right back. I think he should have probably been in the left wing, shouldn't he, when he was playing? You know, I don't understand the rationale, and apparently that I've read this morning that there was 2 other flags displayed. One was a Moldovan flag, from my understanding, another one, and they weren't ordered to be took down.
No.
It was only the Union flag that was ordered to be took down. So it doesn't really say much for Gary Neville as a person, does it?
Yeah, spot on. Listen, Elliott, I think you have the support of most people for what you're doing. By the way, my OCD, I've got one problem with flags. They have to be placed properly. Is that fair?
Absolutely, we are placing them properly.
I know you guys are, but, you know, my mate, Rich, down the road, who is, I mean, I'm surprised, if you cut him in half, he's probably got a Union Jack in there somewhere. But he does have a thing about making sure our flag is displayed nicely, because every now and again somebody will whack one on with a bit of blue tack onto some discarded old shop, and I know they're doing it for their own reasons, and that's great in one respect. But I think that if they look nice, they kind of sell the message a bit, maybe a bit more prominently.
Well, we were putting them up with ladders initially, and now we've progressed on to what we're calling the flagmobile. So we've now got a cherry picker. So we had some complaints where people were saying that we were flying them at half mast. It was all it was. We couldn't get further up the lamppost. now we've got the cherry picker. We can go. We're displaying them right at the top of the lamppost.
Yeah.
But I'm here to dispel the myth that we're not. You know, we're not beer swilling morons, and I've had lots of things said about us on social media where we haven't got a set of teeth between us, and we're all complete morons and idiots, and you know, and we're not. We're all family people. We're all hardworking. We're doing this in our spare time. We provided most of the funds for it ourselves, but we have got a website which is raisethecolors.org.uk where we're trying to get that out there so we can raise extra funds so we can keep it going. We're not giving up. We're going to keep going, and we're just going to keep raising them nice and high.
Good work. And Elliott, thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate that. Elliott Stanley, founding member of Operation Raise the Colours.